In this video, I explain one more concept. I take that as definition, and that definition is used to prove one important result. That is, every monotonic sequence has convergent subsequence. Every monotonic sequence has convergent subsequence. To prove that, first we introduce this definition, that is called peak point. Peak point for a sequence. Peak point definition is like this. Suppose xn be a sequence, be any sequence. Now, if we can find out m, a positive integer or a natural number, such that if we can find m, a positive integer or a natural number, such that for all n greater than m, xn is less than xm, then this m is called peak point of the sequence xn. Understand? Because next proof of the theorem depends on this definition only, peak point. Or we use this concept, peak point, to prove the next theorem. I repeat, xn be a sequence. If we can find a natural number m such that for all n greater than m, xn is less than xm, then this m is called peak point of the sequence. For example, I take again this sequence. Suppose xn is a sequence defined by xn is 1 by n. Then every natural number is a peak point of this sequence. Every natural number is peak point of this sequence. Peak point of the sequence 1 upon n. How every natural becomes a peak point? See the definition of the peak point. I take here 10. I prove that 10 is a peak point of this sequence. 10 is a natural number. If you take any number greater than 10, any natural number greater than 10, all xn are less than this x10. All xn are less than x10. Therefore, 10 is a peak point of the sequence. Why all xn are less than x10? Because x10 means 1 upon 10 here. What is x11? x11 is 1 upon 11. x12 is 1 upon 12. x13 is and x20 is 1 upon 20. All are less than 1 upon 10. You know that 1 upon 20 is less than 1 upon 10, or 1 upon 11 is less than 1 upon 10. So for all n greater than 10, xn is less than x10. Therefore 10 is a peak point of this sequence, 1 upon n. Similarly, 1 is a peak point of this sequence. Because what is x1? x1 is 1. n is equal to 1 is, or m is equal to 1. Let us take m is equal to 1 is peak point of this sequence. Because we have taken m is equal to 1. Take x2. What is x2? Half. Less than x1. Take x3. 1 by 3. Less than x1. x4. 1 by 4. Less than x1. And so on. For all n greater than 1, xn is less than x1. Therefore, every natural number is peak point of this sequence 1 upon n. And I take another example from which you can easily understand what is a peak point. This sequence xn defined by xn is minus 1 raised to n has no peak point. It has no peak point. What is the peak point? Peak point means suppose xn is a sequence and there exists a natural number m such that for all n greater than m, xn is less than xm. Then this is called the peak point of the sequence. Consider this sequence minus 1 raised to n, it has no peak point because if we take m is however large, natural number, any natural number, and m is odd, then for n greater than m, which is even, or where n is even, suppose m is odd natural number and for n greater than m, suppose n greater than m and n is even, then m is odd. What is xm? Xm becomes minus 1 because m is odd, minus 1 raised to odd is minus 1. But n greater than m and n is even, then xn becomes plus 1. And what happens here? N greater than m, but xn is greater than xm. Therefore, this definition, see the definition. For minus 1 raised to n, this sequence, there is no peak point. I think you got the idea about peak point. And if you take natural number n, suppose the sequence is defined by xn is equal to n, then it has no peak point. This has no peak point because what is this xn? Xn is equal to n means it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. This has no peak point. Because if you take n is equal to, m is equal to some fixed integer, say k, then k plus 1 is greater than m, then xk plus 1 is greater than xn. Hence, m is equal to k, where k is any natural number, fixed natural number, is not a peak point of this sequence xn. Now, using this, we prove important theorem. See, the theorem is like this. Theorem means every sequence has monotone subsequence. Every sequence has monotone subsequence. Important result it is. The proof follows like this. Every sequence has monotone subsequence. Proof, we divide proof into different cases here. Case 1. First is, let the sequence has infinitely many peak points. This is possible because I had given example. Sequence, what is that? Xn is minus 1 raised to n has no peak points. But xn is equal to 1 upon n has all natural numbers are peak points. Infinitely many peak points. Suppose the sequence has infinitely many peak points. There, let them be n1, n2, etc. Infinitely many peak points such that n1 less than n2 less than n3 and so on. So what we have to prove? Every sequence has monotone subsequence. We divide the proof like this. Suppose the sequence has infinitely many peak points and we have taken n1, n2, etc. as peak points. And since we have taken n1 less than n2 less than n3, etc. What are n1, n2? They are natural numbers. Therefore, xn1, xn2, xn3, etc. is a subsequence of xn. You have studied the definition of subsequence. Why it is a subsequence? Because n1, n2, n3 are monotonically increasing sequence of natural numbers. Therefore, xn1, xn2, xn3 are subsequence. This is a subsequence of xn. Now, since n1 is a peak point, n1 is a peak point of xn, sequence xn, and n2 greater than n1 implies xn2 is less than xn1. Am I correct? xn2 is less than xn1. Similarly, n3 is greater than n2. This implies xn3 is lesser than xn2. Because by definition of peak point, understand the definition of peak point again, and applying definition of peak point, n2 greater than n1 implies xn2 less than xn1. n3 greater than n2 implies xn3 is less than xn2. And continuing like this, what do you get? Continuing like this, we get xn1 is greater than xn2, greater than xn3, and so on. Therefore, what is this? This subsequence is monotonically decreasing subsequence. Monotonically decreasing subsequence. Why it is a subsequence? Because from this. It is a subsequence because from this. And why it is monotonically decreasing? Because from this. So, a sequence has monotonically decreasing subsequence if it has infinitely many peak points. Now, second case is, suppose it has only finite number of peak points. Suppose xn has, we take the sequence as xn, has only finite number of peak points. Only finite number of peak points, and they are m1, m2, etc., mp. Suppose the sequence has only finite number of peak points. What are that? m1, m2, etc., mp. Let n1 be a natural number strictly greater than any one of m1, m2, etc., mp. See, we have only, these are the peak points here. They are in finite numbers. Suppose n1 is a natural number strictly greater than m1, m2, mp. Then n2 greater than n1 implies, n2 is a natural number greater than n1 implies xn2 is greater than xn1. What is the reason? Because n2 is greater than n1 and it has only finite number of peak points. n2 is not a peak point. Correct? n1 is not a peak point. n1 is strictly greater than any one of these peak points. Therefore, n2 greater than n1 implies xn2 is greater than xn1. Otherwise, what happens? xn2 less than xn1 implies n1 becomes peak point. n1 becomes peak point. Therefore, n2 greater than n1 implies xn2 is greater than xn1. Similarly, n1 or n3 greater than n2 greater than n1 implies xn3 is greater than xn2 greater than xn1. Because if n3 greater than n2 implies xn3 is less than xn2, then it becomes a peak point. But none of this is a peak point because it has only finite number of peak points. These are not the peak points. This implies this xn has a subsequence. Sn has a subsequence. What is that? xn1, xn2, xn3, etc. xn3, etc. which is monotonically increasing. Because xn1 is less than xn2 less than xn3 and so on. n1 less than n2, n3 less than n2 less than n3 and so on. xn1 is less than xn1, xn2 less than xn3 and so on. This is a subsequence because by definition of a subsequence. And here it is monotonically increasing subsequence of xn. Therefore, in case of a finite number of peak points for xn, we get a monotonically increasing subsequence for xn. Suppose there are infinitely many number of peak points, then we will have monotonically decreasing subsequence for xn, any sequence xn. Here monotonically increasing subsequence. Now case 3, the sequence has, suppose sequence has no peak points. No peak points. So you have covered all the three things here. Infinite number of peak points, finite number of peak points and no peak points. Suppose the sequence has no peak points, then what happens? Taking 1 is not a peak point. 1 is not a peak point of xn because it has no peak point at all. Therefore 2 greater than 1 implies x2 is greater than, or x2 is greater than x1. Right, x2 is greater than x1. Or taking n1 is equal to 1, take n2 is equal to 2, xn2 is greater than xn1. This now becomes a subcase of 2, or it is case 3 is a same as case 2 because we have taken this as no peak points. So n1 is equal to 1 is not a peak point. Therefore n2 greater than 2 greater than 1 implies xn2 is greater than xn1 because otherwise what happens? 1 becomes a peak point. xn2 is less than xn1, then 1 becomes a peak point. But it is not so. It has no peak points at all. Therefore xn2 greater than xn1 and so on. Repeating this argument, we get this xn has a monotonically increasing subsequence. So I think all have followed the proof of this, and read carefully the proof important. Every sequence contains monotone subsequence. The concept of peak point is used here. Now see this, the next theorem. Every bounded sequence has convergent subsequence. Important thing is every bounded sequence has convergent subsequence. The proof depends on the previous theorem. Important thing is this is added here, every bounded sequence. What was the previous theorem? In the previous theorem we have every sequence has monotone subsequence, either monotonically increasing or decreasing. Now one more added here, every bounded sequence, if the sequence bounded, then it has a convergent subsequence, because proof is like this. Proof. Suppose xn be a sequence which is bounded. What do you mean by sequence is bounded? It is bounded above as well as below. Go through the definition of bounded sequence. I have already explained. It is bounded means bounded above as well as below. Now from the previous theorem, every sequence has a monotone subsequence. Either monotonically increasing or monotonically decreasing. From previous theorem, xn has either monotonically increasing subsequence or decreasing subsequence. But since the sequence xn is bounded and the subsequence also bounded, subsequence is also bounded, and if it is increasing, monotonically increasing subsequence, since it is bounded, every monotonically increasing sequence bounded above converges. Therefore, xn has a convergent subsequence. Suppose it has a monotonically decreasing subsequence. In that case also, since the sequence is bounded, means it is bounded below, therefore it has the subsequence which is monotonically decreasing, it converges. Hence the proof here. Every bounded sequence has a convergent subsequence. Proof is like this. I think this is, you followed this proof. Here what you have to prove is, if this is the theorem, every bounded sequence has convergent subsequence. First you have to prove that this sequence, every sequence has a monotone subsequence. Then use this one. I think proof all of you followed. And next thing is Cauchy's sequence, very important thing in the sequence. I take that in the next period. Okay, thank you.